Yandy! Hi, Yandy.
This is my husband.
Yo, don't touch me. Tell your husband, don't touch me.
Wait, let me. I do it. Baby. No, baby. I
Don't
do
touch me. Don't touch me.
No, I do it.
Don't touch me. Don't touch me, nigga. Give me a hug.
Like that. Don't talk to my husband like that.
Give me a hug.
No one could believe what just happened, but the footage doesn't lie. Mendeecees, the man fans once praised for turning his life around and becoming a loving husband and father, is now at the center of a disturbing scandal that's threatening to destroy everything he and Yandy built. Reports have confirmed that during filming of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, Mendeecees allegedly snapped and physically confronted Yandy, leaving her shaken, humiliated, and heartbroken on set. But this wasn't just a bad day. Insiders say it was the climax of months of tension, deception, and buried secrets, and now, the truth is spilling out faster than anyone can contain it. Yandy is done protecting his image. She's reportedly leaking receipts, DMs, and voice recordings that paint Mendeecees in a much darker light than we've ever seen before. Why did he snap? What did he find on her phone that triggered everything? And is this the beginning of the end for one of VH1's most iconic couples? This isn't just another reality TV meltdown, this is the dark truth Yandy kept hidden for years. And now, she's done staying silent. The cameras were rolling when everything fell apart. What was supposed to be a routine filming day for Love and Hip Hop Atlanta turned into a disaster, one that left production shaken, security activated, and Yandy in visible distress. What fans didn't see on TV was a confrontation so intense, so raw, and so personal that producers debated pulling the entire storyline. Mendeecees allegedly exploded after reading something on Yandy's phone that he was never meant to see, and what followed was a moment of violence and betrayal that will haunt this franchise forever. Insiders from the set described it as the most shocking incident they'd witnessed in years. According to crew members, Mendeecees had been acting cold and distant throughout the day. He and Yandy were reportedly fighting off camera, but it wasn't unusual. Tension between them had been brewing for months. But when he stormed out of his trailer, snatched Yandy's phone from her lap mid-scene, and started scrolling, everything changed. He stopped breathing for like 2 seconds, one assistant whispered. Then his whole face changed. His eyes went blank. And that's when he lunged. What Mendeecees saw remains unclear, but rumors say it was a voice memo Yandy had saved and forwarded to her assistant weeks earlier. In it, she allegedly described Mendeecees as a burden, and claimed she only stayed married for the sake of the children and public image. Worse, she allegedly hinted at a secret relationship with someone close to Mendeecees, a business partner. He's been trying to build his name back up, a source close to the couple revealed. And to hear that the woman who stuck by him while he was locked up might have never truly loved him? That crushed him. The fight turned physical in seconds. Crew members rushed in, and cameras cut. Security intervened, separating the couple. Yandy, shaken and teary, demanded Mendeecees be removed from the set. She was reportedly taken to a nearby room, where she had a full emotional breakdown. And that's when the real unraveling began. When Yandy finally emerged from the room, her face said everything the cameras didn't catch: puffy eyes, smeared makeup, and a look of disbelief that pierced through the production lights. This wasn't just about Mendeecees losing his temper, it was about a deep betrayal finally coming to the surface, years in the making. And behind the scenes, producers were panicking, not just about the altercation, but about the receipts Yandy had been keeping, just in case things ever went too far. Sources close to Yandy say she's been documenting their problems for months, quietly compiling screenshots, recording arguments, and even saving financial documents. Because what the world didn't know was that Mendeecees had been moving money behind her back, siphoning profits from their joint ventures into a private account she didn't know existed. And when she confronted him about it weeks before the attack, he denied everything. But that day on set, when he saw that she still had proof, that's when things escalated. Yandy had forwarded voice memos to her assistant ones, where Mendeecees allegedly admitted to hiding the money because he didn't trust her with it. In one chilling clip, his voice is heard saying, "You always trying to control everything. This time, it's mine." You don't need to know where it is. Yandy's assistant, terrified by the sudden eruption, immediately backed up the files and leaked one memo anonymously to a gossip blog. Within hours, it was live, and the entire internet was now hearing Mendeecees' voice admitting to financial deception. And just like that, the narrative flipped. Up until now, Mendeecees had rebuilt his image as a family man. He returned home from prison, stood by Yandy publicly, and became the reformed love and hip-hop dad that fans rooted for. But now, the illusion was shattered. This wasn't a one-time blow-up, it was a pattern. Yandy, meanwhile, had been suffering in silence. Friends close to her revealed that she had confided in a therapist and was working with a crisis coach to help her navigate a potential public exit from the relationship. She never wanted to expose Mendeecees, not for the father of her children, not for the image, and definitely not for the headlines. But that day on set, it changed everything. "I protected him too long," Yandy allegedly said off camera. "Now I have to protect myself." The fan base erupted. Twitter hashtags like #ProtectYandy and #Mendeecees exposed started trending within 24 hours. Comment sections turned into battlefields. Some die-hard fans defended Mendeecees, calling it just a fight. Others demanded VH1 pull him from future episodes entirely. And VH1? They were sweating. The network held an emergency meeting to review the raw footage and decide what to air. Legally, they were caught in the crossfire. They couldn't condone violence, but they also couldn't ignore the ratings magnet this drama had become. After hours of debate, executives decided to blur the footage and mute the audio, but keep it in the show. The episode aired a disclaimer. The following scene has been edited for viewer sensitivity. Viewer discretion is advised. But fans still knew the truth. Back at home, Yandy was making major moves. She quietly changed the passwords to all joint accounts. She began separating her business ventures, including her skincare line and publishing deals, from Mendeecees' influence. And most importantly, she started filing paperwork. Sources confirmed she reached out to a high-profile divorce attorney. But what shocked people more? Yandy wasn't just divorcing him. She was preparing to sue for financial fraud. The betrayal ran deeper than anyone expected, and Yandy was done playing nice. After the leaked audio clip hit the blogs and public opinion started to shift, Yandy took control of the narrative. In a bold Instagram live, wearing a simple black hoodie and no glam, she looked straight into the camera and said, "This isn't about tearing anyone down. It's about surviving something that tried to break me from the inside out." She then proceeded to reveal even more disturbing receipts, a bank statement showing thousands withdrawn from their shared account and funneled into a personal LLC tied to Mendeecees' cousin. But what made the revelation even more shocking was Yandy's claim that the LLC didn't exist until she went on tour last year. "I was flying around, chasing opportunities to put food on the table, and he was building his own escape plan. I thought we were rebuilding trust, but he was just repositioning himself." The betrayal stung. Fans were in disbelief. This was the same man who sobbed on camera, promising Yandy loyalty and devotion after prison. The same man who used his redemption arc as a badge of honor. But now, it looked like the whole thing had been a carefully constructed lie. And there was more. Yandy revealed she had reason to believe that Mendeecees was trying to move property titles into his mother's name, including a rental property that was part of their children's trust. She claimed he was making quiet plays to disappear. And the attack on set wasn't just about betrayal, it was because she'd caught him trying to ghost with everything they built together. "He was never mad because I lied. He was mad because I didn't stay blind." The confession hit hard. And this time, Mendeecees couldn't hide. Under pressure, he issued a brief, half-hearted statement through his rep. Mendeecees is focused on healing and protecting his family. He asks for privacy at this time. But the damage was done. Bloggers, YouTubers, and podcast hosts ran wild with theories. Was this the real Mendeecees all along? Had Yandy been protecting him out of loyalty or fear? Some even speculated that Yandy had been planning her exit for years, slowly separating their finances and building a paper trail. And while the world debated, Mendeecees disappeared. No new posts, no interviews, no statements. His public image started to crumble. Sponsorships paused, brand deals pulled out, and when Love and Hip Hop teased the next explosive episode with blurred footage and dramatic sound design, fans braced themselves for the moment that had only been whispered about: the real breakdown of one of reality TV's most iconic couples. Back in New York, Yandy was holding it together for the cameras, but insiders said privately she was shattered, betrayed by the man she raised children with, blindsided by a partner who used her stability as a launchpad for his own quiet escape. But still, she stood strong. "I'm not a victim, I'm a mother, a businesswoman, and I will not let this man rewrite my story." As the days went on, the silence from Mendeecees became louder than any statement he could have released. His absence was deafening. No Instagram lives, no apologies, no interviews, just a blacked-out profile and a trail of broken trust. Meanwhile, Yandy, once the ride-or-die woman who stood by his side during prison, court trials, and media attacks, was finally standing alone, and this time, it was by choice. Behind the scenes, legal moves were stacking. Yandy's attorney reportedly filed a preliminary claim against Mendeecees for breach of fiduciary duty and marital misconduct, citing the mismanagement of joint assets, unauthorized account transfers, and emotional abuse that had left her in therapy. Her team compiled years of receipts, not just the infamous leaked voice memo, but emails, wire logs, notarized contracts that Yandy said Mendeecees signed behind her back. "He didn't just cheat the system," she allegedly told her team. "He cheated me." Yandy's close circle, including celebrity friends and business mentors, began rallying behind her. Erica Dixon tweeted, "They love to gaslight strong women. Stay up, Yandy, protect your peace." Tahiri reposted a clip of Yandy speaking to young women about boundaries and wrote, "And she meant every word." Fans were torn. Some begged for the couple to find healing for the kids. Others demanded Mendeecees be blacklisted from Love and Hip Hop permanently. Viewers who once idolized their love story now saw it as a warning, a textbook example of how appearances can mask manipulation, but just when the internet thought it couldn't get worse. Yandy leaked one final clip, and it wasn't financial, it was personal. In a tearful voice recording, she could be heard whispering into her phone after locking herself in a bathroom. "I can't keep doing this. I can't keep walking on eggshells, wondering if today's gonna be calm or if I'll get another storm." He throws words like knives. One minute I'm his queen, the next I'm trash. And no one sees it, because he's charming in public. The clip shook fans to their core. This wasn't about money anymore, it was about emotional abuse, gaslighting, and the kind of silent damage that doesn't leave bruises, but leaves scars. Fans flooded her DMs with support. Domestic violence advocates spoke out. Even a few former Love and Hip Hop cast members shared their own survival stories in solidarity. And then, the final blow. Yandy announced on her podcast that she was launching a nonprofit for women in toxic relationships, aimed at helping those who feel trapped behind the illusion of loyalty and love. She didn't name Mendeecees directly, but she didn't have to. Her message was clear. She was done hiding. "I thought staying quiet made me strong, but silence nearly destroyed me. Now, I speak and I'm free." By the time the episode aired, nothing could prepare fans for what they were about to witness. Though the footage was blurred and the audio muted, the raw tension radiated through the screen. You could see it in the way Yandy trembled, the way security rushed in, the way the cast fell into shocked silence. It was no longer reality TV drama, it was real life unraveling on camera. VH1's decision to keep the footage, even edited, drew backlash and praise. Some viewers thanked them for not hiding the truth, saying it exposed what too many women go through behind closed doors. Others accused the network of exploiting Yandy's pain for ratings. But one thing was undeniable. This episode would go down as one of the most talked about moments in Love and Hip Hop history. As Twitter exploded, so did Yandy's mentions. Messages of support poured in. Fans reposted her quote, "Silence almost destroyed me," and turned it into a viral slogan. Black women across social media began sharing their own stories, crediting Yandy for giving them the courage to speak. Domestic violence nonprofits even reached out, inviting her to speak at conferences and panels. But not everyone was celebrating. Mendeecees' family went on the defensive. His mother, Judy, jumped onto Instagram Live, accusing Yandy of being dramatic and fake crying for clout. She claimed the argument on set was exaggerated and that no hands were laid. But fans weren't having it. They dug up old clips of Judy belittling Yandy in past seasons and posted side-by-sides with her new live. This is exactly what Yandy's been fighting: a family that protects the abuser instead of the one being abused. The comments were brutal. Judy's page got flooded with backlash, forcing her to disable comments. Other cast members began choosing sides too, and it became clear that the cast was split. Rich Dollaz posted a cryptic tweet. Some folks been playing victims so long they forgot they were the villain. Many assumed it was aimed at Yandy, but Rich quickly deleted the post when fans dragged him for taking Mendeecees' side. Meanwhile, Chrissy Lampkin posted a simple heart emoji under one of Yandy's emotional posts, and fans took that as a rare show of solidarity between longtime rivals. Back at home, Yandy was focused on healing. She pulled her kids out of the public eye, moved temporarily to an undisclosed location, and began finalizing the paperwork to dissolve her shared businesses with Mendeecees. Friends said she was emotionally exhausted but mentally clear. She had made her choice. There was no going back. He can have the money. He can have the house. I just want peace. Behind closed doors, however, Mendeecees was allegedly fighting back. Sources claimed he hired a crisis PR firm and was preparing to release his own documentary-style video explaining his side, painting himself as a man pushed too far by betrayal, pressure, and emotional manipulation. "They gon' hear me too," he reportedly told someone in his circle. But fans weren't ready to forgive, especially not after Yandy's final voice note went viral. In it, she broke down crying, saying, "I gave him everything. My love, my loyalty, my name, and in return, I got lies, pain, and fear. But never again." The truth had fully unraveled, and now the world saw Mendeecees for who he really was. The man once praised for his growth and redemption had been exposed as manipulative, emotionally abusive, and financially deceptive. As Love and Hip Hop teased the reunion special, fans were on edge. Would Mendeecees show up? Would Yandy confront him on stage? Would producers finally air everything? Yandy's team issued a statement days before the reunion taping, confirming she would attend but only under specific security and legal protocols. She wasn't backing down. She was walking in as a woman who'd survived betrayal, public shame, and near emotional collapse and still came out on top. "You don't have to stay where you're not safe, even if it looks like love," she posted just before taping. The post went viral. At the reunion, Mendeecees shocked everyone by not showing up. No apology, no video message, no statement, just a single chair left empty on stage. Yandy looked at it and said, "That's who he is. Empty, running." The audience broke into stunned applause. Weeks later, court documents confirmed that Yandy had filed for full custody, citing emotional instability and financial manipulation. She was moving forward not just legally, but spiritually and emotionally. She expanded her nonprofit, booked a national speaking tour, and announced a new reality project focusing on healing after abuse. And Mendeecees? Still silent, still missing. His team issued one last press release, claiming he was focusing on personal growth. But for Yandy, growth looked different. It looked like standing tall in truth, reclaiming power, and refusing to shrink just to keep a man comfortable. She wasn't just walking away from the relationship, she was walking into her next chapter. Whew! This saga between Mendeecees and Yandy has taken us from heartbreak to healing, and fans are still picking their jaws up off the floor. Who would have thought one of Love and Hip Hop's strongest couples would fall apart like this? Financial lies, voice memos, silent abuse, and betrayal, all wrapped up in a storyline that proves not every love story has a happy ending, but every survivor deserves one. What are your thoughts? Do you think Mendeecees was always hiding who he truly was? Was Yandy right to leak the receipts, or did she go too far? Should VH1 cut ties with Mendeecees for good? Drop your comments below. Share this video with your friends, especially those who still think Mendeecees is innocent. Subscribe for more jaw-dropping reality tea, raw confessions, and the truth behind the camera lens. Number Yandy Smith. Number Mendeecees. Number Love and Hip Hop. Number Reality TV Drama. Number Truth Behind the Betrayal. Number Yandy Expose the Truth. Number Mendeecees Cancelled. Number Protect Black Women.